Welcome all sports fans, YouTubers, Facebookers, all social media across the nation. Uneducated Network presents Uneducated Sports Talk, and I'm your host, Carlos Clayton. Today we have a lot of good stuff going on. We'll talk Kevin Durant with Donald Trump issues. We have Philadelphia Eagles 32 for 32, and we'll talk about D Wade, whether he's going to Miami or stay with Chicago or going to Cleveland. But first, before we get into all that, please like and subscribe to Uneducated Network. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to Uneducated Network, where you can see my show and plenty of other shows as well. It is going down. It's fun for everybody. We're having tons of people subscribing already, and thank you for those who have subscribed, and for those who haven't, what you waiting for? Subscribe right now. Let's get into it. Kevin Durant just said he is not. Now, it has not been official that the White House has asked the Golden State Warriors to come to them, but we all know they play in February somewhere in Washington, to where they'll make that trip to the White House. It's kind of annual for every major sports franchise that wins their championship. Kevin Durant already said he is not going to visit the White House, point blank, period. We all know what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia, and those issues going on. Kevin Durant feels deeply into those. He said that he cannot agree with what the president agrees with, and he feels like his team will have his back. Can you imagine the invitation from the White House and no one from the Golden State Warriors? Because those guys are tight knit. They're a tight knit group. So I doubt that if Kevin Durant doesn't go, I don't think anyone else is going as well. It trickles down from the leader, which is Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. I believe those two individuals will not go at all. Klay Thompson is cool with them. I'm pretty sure Sean Livingston is very cool with them as well. The whole entire team. Andre Iguodala, you already know he's not going for sure. So there might not be an invitation at all, because just knowing that these guys, from their backgrounds and who they represent as themselves, they aren't going to this White House. So there might not be an invitation, because they aren't going to take the risk of just having Steve Kerr there. If Steve Kerr, is going to go, I doubt he'll go to himself. But he's saying that, and I agree 100%. The best way to voice your opinion is not to go to the White House. Don't go. That's how you voice your opinion right there, because he feels like a lot of us African Americans feel that the president that we have right now isn't really representing for us. When you say that there are some good people who are in this Nazi group, that's not good people at all. Guys who represent the Nazi, so that nation way back in those Hitler days, that was a horrible thing going on. There aren't any good guys who are representing the Nazis. So, just saying, that's my political stance on that. I'll keep it brief. But Kevin Durant isn't going. I agree with him. Comment how do you feel about Kevin Durant not going to the White House? Do you agree with him, or do you think he should just go to the White House and do his thing? But I think he should not go to the White House, and I'm proud for him saying that, because a lot more athletes, like he said, have to step up. They're the role models these days. Sad but true. You wish that these doctors and engineers and even fathers will be role models to these young men out there, and these young women as well. And it's just not happening. A lot of people look at athletes. A lot of women look at makeup stars these days as their role models, and that's not what it should be. But since they are the role models, they have to speak up. It can't just be LeBron James, and then saying stuff all the time, and D Wade, Chris Paul, and now Kevin Durant. I mean, it has to be everybody saying something. So I hope that one day, and I know one day this world will come to unity. It might not be in my time, but I do know that one day this world will come and unite as one nation, whether you're black, white, Asian, green, purple, blue, it does not matter. I hope one day we can come together as a nation and stand for one. For one. It'll happen. Not anytime soon, but it will happen. But speaking of D Wade, there's been rumors that he's probably going to get his buyout from Chicago, and I don't blame him for wanting to leave Chicago. That is a train wreck, and Chicago's rebooting the whole system. They are starting over from scratch. I can't blame them on that as well, because you're tired of being in fifth, sixth place and not going anywhere. You're stuck in the mud, stuck in the rut. Blow it all up, and they blew it up. I'm glad that they blew it up. But D Wade has a decision now. There's been rumors that he's either going to join Miami or he's going to join Cleveland. Now, here's my take on this. People saying, well, Los, where do you think he's going? I'll tell you why he's not going to Cleveland. And that's the big thing, because everyone's saying, well, he wants rings, so he'll go to Cleveland. No. Here it is. It's something about the city of Cleveland. I'm not a big fan of, cities make people not want to go places, but Cleveland kind of makes you not want to go there no matter who's there. Think about this. In the LeBron James era, when he first started and when he came back to Cleveland, what big name free agent have they signed? Nobody. They've either been drafted or they've been traded. No one just signed, or no one just on their own terms. Big free agent. I'm not talking Darren Williams. I'm talking big free agent guys, max level guys to join LeBron James. No one has done that. LeBron has gotten his way by either going to a team or getting trades done or draftees in Kyrie Irving. That's how they form their teams. Now, here's the problem. You don't want to go to Cleveland because I think Cleveland's just no offense to Cleveland because I don't live there, but what I heard from a lot of these athletes, it's a pretty boring place. I wouldn't mind living in Cleveland. I'm pretty sure it has a lot more stuff to do than Lake Charles, Louisiana. I'll tell you that. But Cleveland, to these athletes, aren't the place. That's why LeBron had to leave. You would wonder why people should join LeBron, right? LeBron's the best player in the game. They don't want to join in Cleveland. So LeBron left and went to Miami to holler at D Wade and them. And we all know how that worked out. But no one jumped ship to Cleveland. So here I'm saying, I think D Wade goes back to Miami for the next 2 years, retires, and calls it a career. He retires in Miami. He might even spend, next year might be his last year, just the way he is, kind of fizzing out, I think, mentally and physically. But he goes to Miami. Miami isn't a bad team. So he's still going to a team that at the end of last year, they, I believe, went 30-11 to end the season. Now, they started off 11-30, the opposite, but they ended 30-11. So that team has momentum going into next year and could be in this sorry, semi-pathetic East. Could be a team to reckon with next year. You add a D Wade who might be gracious enough, maybe not even start. He might come off the bench and give you 23, 24 minutes a game. That kind of role. I don't know, but I think he goes back to Houston. I think he goes back to Miami, to where he started his career at and finishes off like that. That 1 year in Chicago was just, let me test something out. Is the new girlfriend for a second, or the new hot thing. You left your boo, your babe thing, your high school sweetheart, whoever it was, your true love, and you realize that this new thing was kind of like, it looked good for a second, but it was horrible. That's how it was one season movie with Chicago. Now, I think he goes back to the wife, to the boo thing, which is Miami, and he becomes Miami Heat, probably for this year, maybe next year as well, and then call it a career. But Cleveland, everyone wants him to go to Cleveland. I just think on his own terms, even though it'll be free pretty much to go to Cleveland with the buyout from Chicago, I still think he would not go to Cleveland. That's just my thing. And if I know D Wade, I don't know him like that, but I think he has a little bit of heart. I don't think he wants to coattail. He said he has his 3 championships. He's not going to coattail anybody. So when people think that he's going to go ahead and go with LeBron and get an easy ring, he's not going to do all that. I don't think it's not his style. He's got 3 rings already. He doesn't need to coattail off anybody. He's a surefire Hall of Famer, so he has no worries one bit. So D Wade, in my opinion, he is going to Miami to continue his roots in Miami, and that's where he will retire at as well. So that's how I feel about D Wade. Comment on that. Do you think D Wade goes to Miami, or does he go to Cleveland? And tell me why. I think he goes to Miami, but I could be wrong. You never know. Now, continue our 32 for 32, which is 32 NFL teams in 32 days. We're talking the Philadelphia Eagles. They went 7-9 last year, and they got a lot of work to do. So, head coach, what is the head coach name? Doug Peterson. Yeah, Doug Peterson. Head coach Doug Peterson. He was the offensive coordinator for Kansas City. Sorry. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, Doug Peterson's his second year in the league. He inherited Carson Wentz, drafted him, which is a great pick. 6'5", 240. They started off very well. I think they started off 4-1 last year, or 3-1, something like that, maybe 5-1. Started off hot, and then they slid down horribly. They had that big game last year where they destroyed the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you thought, uh-oh, this team is going to be good. I kept saying that. I was like, uh-oh, the Carson Wentz is good, but I thought this Eagles team was going to be just crazy good this year. And it wound up being the opposite. It's just the NFL for you. Here we go, though. Their problem, it wasn't too much defense where people made it out to be. They literally had the worst wide receiver core in the NFL. I'm telling you, when Jordan Matthews is your number one, and I think in my heart he's a pure number 3 at best, maybe a number 2 at best, but for sure number 3 in anybody else's system. Well, they trade him for other picks. He goes to Buffalo, and here we go. My problem was their offense was so in depth. It was either Darren Sproles or it was, Jordan Matthews, who wasn't getting as many yards, or was a tight end. And they had problems, so many problems on 3rd and longs. They could not get anywhere because their offensive core, the wide receiver core is just horrible. So they go into the draft, and you would think that, well, you want to go offense. Well, as soon as John Ross was taken by the Bengals, I believe they were aiming for Ross, hoping that he would drop to 14 and they would get him. Did not happen. They figured, well, you know what, we have a little issues with our cornerbacks and with our defense. Let's get pressure on the football. Their first pick was Derek Barnett, who was probably going to New Orleans at one point, but I'm kind of glad we didn't go that route, you know what I'm saying? But Derek Barnett, defensive end from Tennessee, he is there. Big physical guy. He's not as fast to the ball, but he has a high motor. He can get there. So they're hoping that with him and Chris Long, they can kind of cause pressure from the DN spots, because they have a good little trio. I forgot the other guy, but they have some good pieces at the DN area. So now you focus on that. Round 2, you get Sidney Jones, cornerback from Washington. Now, they took a big gamble on Jones because we all know he got hurt before the draft. And he's basically going to miss the whole entire season. So he's basically going to be redshirted for his freshman year or his rookie season. But before the injury, he was a top 10 pick, no doubt, as either going as high as number 5 to be a shutdown cornerback. So when he does come back next year, you got something good going on. But they figured, let's go with another cornerback in round 3 where they get Ross Douglas from West Virginia. And that's kind of insurance. And they got a cornerback from the Samuel Watkins trade. So they're really, their depth chart with the cornerbacks, it was an issue. They got that fixed, but their offense is still, I'm not going to say horrible, because you have pieces. You have Darren Sproles, you have Zach Ertz, you got guys who can make plays. But outside of that, I don't see where this offense contributes a lot of points for next year. You play against the AFC West and you play against the NFC West. NFC West has a few cupcakes, but the AFC West, that's going to be tough. That's 4 games you could just lose potentially when you talk about the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Chargers. That's a tough division. I always say the AFC West and the NFC South are probably the 2 tough divisions, maybe the NFC East as well a little bit. In the NFC West, you have a 49ers team that you can probably contend with, a Los Angeles Rams team you can probably do. But outside of that, you play in a tough NFC East where you see the Cowboys twice, the Giants twice, the Redskins twice. So that being said, I still think they will have a decent season. I have these guys going 9-7. Last year they were 7-9. They have a 2-game improvement. The only problem is the division you play in. I have the Giants being a very good team this year, and I have the Cowboys being a very good team. So that being said, in your division, the division might hold you back. And I don't like those instances, but the division will hold you back. So 9-7, probably scratching and clawing for a wild card spot is what the Eagles will be this year, in my opinion. So I have them going 9-7. We'll see what happens after that. So like, comment, subscribe. How do you feel if you're an Eagles fan? Where do you see your Eagles going? Let me know about that. And let me know about Kevin Durant's issue. How do you feel about him not going to the White House? I want to hear more from you guys. Please like and subscribe to Uneducated Network, where you see Uneducated Sports Talk. You'll see Gaming Uneducated, which is hosted by Sheldon Woods. You'll see So You Think You Know Sports, which is hosted by Craig Jones, aka Turtle. You'll see In the Paint with Red, hosted by Devontae Roan, aka Red. You'll see Uneducated Star Wars Talk, hosted by Christopher Lambert. Uneducated Heroes Talk, hosted by Christopher Batiste. So we got all kind of things going on, and we have more shows coming in the future. So be on the lookout because we got good things going on, man. So like I said, subscribe, comment. Check me out on Facebook. My name is Carlos Clayton. Check me out on Twitter at Carlos Clayton _ I repeat, at Carlos Clayton _ I got big things coming. Check out next episode. I will be talking high school sports. LaGrange High School, which is in Lake Charles, Louisiana. We're going to that scene now. So we'll have an interview with one of their stars, Landon Savoy. So please check that out on my next episode, man. And I don't know what we're talking about next episode with football team, but we'll get to that. I'll put it in the description. So just let me know how you guys feel, man, about everything. And subscribe to Uneducated Network. And it presents Uneducated Sports Talk. And I'm your host, Carlos Clayton. And as always, sports fans, you know what it is. Stay smart, stay uneducated. Peace.